evildoer. Yeah.
Oh no!
Matt, what the hell was that?
Wasn't me, coach. Welcome to the Straight Red Card. Get off our lawn.
Welcome to the Straight Red Card, where my technology has been repaired.
Hallelujah.
Wasn't even my fault. It was some shit outside. Some wire was dead or something. He's like, yeah, I just had to go out there and replace the whole goddamn thing.
And I can't tell. I can't tell if it was because of the pixelated hotspot camera or you wiped your camera off. But looking good today.
Yeah, it's a lot sharper here, isn't it? Yeah, make sure you do like, subscribe, and share with your grandma. I think there were lots of topics we didn't even end up covering in that show because of the
all
delay.
The topics, Derek. All the topics.
Yeah, I know. Before we get to the turd, want to share our new sponsor today is Gastone Lago. Gastone Lago. If your girl wants a tube full of cream, I recommend you give her Gastone Lago. It's their roll breaks. And by the way, I'm a big fan of the hazelnut. It's fantastic. Anyhow, tubes full with cream. Hazelnut cream in this case. Yeah. All right. The turn in the background says, what?
I was expecting like the Wunderboner type of thing, not just talking about your cream-filled sticks.
It's a cream-filled stick. I mean, what? All right. I mean, that could be dirty, right? A cream-filled stick.
Fair enough.
Hey, baby, you want some of my cream-filled stick or tube? Oh, yeah, you really don't call, any of that a tube, right? Never heard anybody say, hey, man, I got to go to the bathroom and, take out my tube and relieve myself. I mean, unless
drain the main vein.
Unless there's some sort of surgical reason and that part's replaced by a tube. In that case, it gets kind of grim, doesn't it?
So happy to see Jose there that I just completely skipped on the turd there.
All right. The turd in the background says, welcome to the Straight Red Card. Going down is Leeds, Leicester, or as they say in other places, Leicester. And my wife, what a weekend. Oh, good for you, brother. All right. Sounds like you got some action there. Dortmund lose. Leeds explode. Pulisic still a virgin. And Jesse to Monaco?
Oh.
What a twist.
Ruined a story already, turd. Come on.
My balls smell. All right. Well, I say you should probably go watch them. There'll be bigger chances that your wife will want to go visit them if they don't smell. Although there's some people that are into stinky shit because remember, Napoleon always sent a letter to his wife before he was done with campaign and was headed home. He said, hey, I'll be there in 3 weeks. Don't take a bath till then. Yeah, he was into that stinky shit. Yeah, really gross.
He's been spending the last, months and months and months with a bunch of dudes not being able to bathe frequently. I'm sure he's used to that shit.
Yeah, that's a different smell, Brett.
I know. That's what I'm saying. He's already having a cleanse smell when you get home. It's got to be off-putting. You're like, oh, what the hell?
That's a different stench. Yeah, maybe that's what gets his rocks off. I don't know.
Who's going to clean the latrine? I'll do it.
That was Napoleon's thing. Other people have that thing too. Jose Reyes for $10 says, hey, friends, can't stay for the whole show tonight. Just saying hi, quick answer. Reyna should leave. He needs regular time and maybe needs a little ego check. Similar to Dest, IMO. Cheers, friends.
Gio had significant more playing time and success this season than Dest.
Yeah, a lot more than Dest. Dest was, his team pretended he didn't exist. That's a little different. Whenever they needed a goal, Dortmund, they brought Reyna in. So obviously they think he's good for something. And
we'll dive deeper into that topic later.
But I don't know if he needs to leave because I think there are going to be some Dortmund players who leave, right? So He might have more opportunity next year than he did this year. And I don't really want him to have an ego check. And I noticed that a lot of people say shit on Twitter like, man, that dude's an arrogant fuck and he's lazy and all that shit. No, dude, he just has a little swagger, and I don't want him to lose that. Because if he loses that, then he just becomes Aaronson. And we don't need that. We already got an Aaronson with no confidence. I want a guy with some swagger. And look at all the best players in the world. They all carry a swagger. I don't care if it's Ronaldo or Messi. They all have a confidence that's pretty evident while they're out there. You got a visitor?
No, the door's cracked and kids are talking.
Oh. Why don't you yell at them and tell them to close the door?
Shut up! Shut the fuck up!
And quit smoking crack.
Hi, Chuck. What's up?
All proof that
iPad's upstairs with Jackson. Go. Shut the door behind you. Perfect timing. Look at that.
Nice. So all proof that Brett is not a virgin. He has children, and it probably wasn't. I mean, the mailman, they kind of look like you. So there's
they look a lot like. So I don't even have that excuse.
They look like little leprechauns and shit. All right, let's.
Thanks, Jose. Appreciate that, man.
Well, you do
awesome.
appreciate Jose. Sorry you can't stick around. I'm sure you got like a party to go to or something, or maybe your girlfriend's visiting, and you got duties.
All right.
Oh shit!
I guess before we get in too far, real quick, look away, Derek. I'm going to go ahead and show today's cards.
All right. Well, while you do that, I'm going to be opening up the beer of the night.
See, that's why I wanted to show the card. All right.
Oh well, that didn't do shit. No, it's not tall enough. Here, let's use the sponsor to cover it. There we go.
Just blocking your camera doesn't mean it's blocking your screen, Derek. Just so you know.
No, it's right in the middle, and so is the screen, so I can't actually see anything. I can see you on the left. You're on the left side of the screen.
All right. Derek, you're good.
All right.
Just go to our Twitter handle. You can grab those cards if you want.
Whenever your girl's hungry for a snack, give her a cream-filled stick. A cream-filled stick. She'll love it. All right. Let's hit some topics tonight. Let's get right into it. I don't have any
make a joke about the picture you had sent me to bring up.
Which one's that? Oh,
yeah,
Jimmy.
We were just talking about what your girl might need, and
Yeah, put it up.
Show her this picture.
Yeah, it wouldn't be that one. What's going on with Jimmy in this picture?
He looks perplexed.
This is Jimmy on the Ted Lasso show. He got 1.5 seconds of fame.
Yeah, I'll give him a little ribbing, but I mean that's lucky.
I don't think that haircut does him any favors on the side. I think it just makes his ears stick out further. It's kind of like
looks like a wax statue.
He does, and he's supposed to look surprised because what's his face is wearing a tie-dye shirt. Roy Kent is anyhow.
So I haven't gotten to this episode. What is Jimmy? What's his role? What's his role with Richmond? Because clearly he's got the Richmond jumpsuit on.
Ball washer. He washes the balls.
Legit.
Yes. Somebody has to clean those balls after every practice. You know what I mean? And that's what Jimmy does on this particular, because he's not featured in any other shows. So most of his work is done behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Ball washing is a behind the scenes job. That's not something you do in public. If you know what I mean.
Sure.
Yes.
So it's just got brought up earlier with the turd. He ruined the topic. Thank you, turd.
A different type.
Sorry, it was a different type of transfer news for Derek.
A lot of U.S. men's national team fans would like to see Jesse Marsch get the gig. Yeah, I'd like to see the percentage on that. I don't know if anybody's done a poll yet, but I think it's kind of 50-50. I don't really think it's unanimous. As Monaco may try to land him first. No, they're not. Nope.
Like you said, as if you're saying the word as.
Yeah, AS Monaco. My bad.
As Monaco, I was like, wait a second, what the hell? I've been saying it wrong all these years?
Athletic Sportif Monaco. I'm sorry I missed the ass part. But yeah, I didn't. Yeah, it's small on my screen. So I don't think he's going anywhere like Monaco. I don't know where
that could explain why he hasn't officially signed with USSF right now. Maybe he has some European gigs knocking on his door.
This is more smoke and mirrors. This is all a gig. I mean, a gag. It's a gag. Gig.
I like it. Like it's like from our Jean Le Gossip. Did I say it anywhere close?
Jean Le Gossip. I'm sure that's not his real name.
It's Jonathan Johnson. Le Gossip.
It just means the gossip in French. So he's full of shit. And that unfortunately makes Roger Gonzalez a purveyor of sack of shit information. Tonight, by the way, I am drinking Golden Drac. Once again, one of the best beers in the world. If you haven't had it and you have some reserve money set aside for something glorious.
Dive into your retirement fund?
Yeah. $28 for a 4-pack. And I have one more left after this. So I'm really happy about that. I only drink once a week, maybe. That's about it. So, look at the head on that thing.
It's quite the head.
Color of that. Oh, that's just dark red. It's fabulous. All right. Anyhow, that beer is, by the way, 10.5. 10.5. So a couple of those will fuck you up. I mean, not fuck you up, but give you a buzz.
So on Sunday, went to go hung out with some friends. Went to the pool and shit, and didn't go to the pool and shit, but yeah. Did you try to close that pool out real quickly? Dookie!
I'll show you some hazelnut cream. Did you wear a shirt when you went to the pool? Or do you go
to the
shirtless?
pool, yes, but then in the pool, no.
So you're still taking it off and jumping in the water, no problem, with your man boobs and all.
All three of them.
All right. Well, power to you about it. I mean, listen, I would go to.
I'm not blanketing out the sun when I go out there, like, oh.
I know, but I mean, I'm looking at. I drove by our pool just opened this weekend too, and I would never go there without a shirt on. But then I saw some of the people that were at the pool, and I thought those motherfuckers got no shame at all. We're talking about outright fucking whales at the pool, dressed in skimpy shit. And I thought, well, fuck it, maybe I will go to the pool shirtless. Anyhow, sorry to bust
unless you're rocking one of the whatever the shirts that are meant for that, where the sunblock shirts. That's one thing. You got a nice got some hazelnut on your nose. Looks like
that's my beer.
Yeah,
I'll just let you know that beer smells good.
Clearly, you get your nose all the way in it.
I did. I have no shame. Right up in that shit. Total salad tossing experience. All right, so what exactly happened
right?
with
he wasn't he? What a prick.
No, I would call
you're still going there even though you're a fat ass. Oh my god.
Brett's more of an orca than a whale. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm an apex predator, motherfucker.
He's not. I mean, he's part of the whale family, but not, like a whale, a giant whale, not a big blubbery whale. Well, there's some blubber there, but not. Anyhow, I don't really know.
If I actually had emotions, I might be offended by this.
Hey, man, it's not like I'm in the best shape either. I got my moobs all over too. Look at these things. So you went to the pool. What happened?
Now I'm trying to even think what I was going to mention. Jeez.
I'm sorry I interrupted your story. I just got fascinated.
Oh, we're talking about your beer. You mentioned that it was like 10%.
Yeah.
So my friend Chad, who you've met,
Yes, I have.
He pulled out a big fucking beer, and it was a beer from his. It was his big fucking beer, you know. No, so he pulled out this monstrous can of a beer.
Okay.
And it's from his sister and brother-in-law's brewery down in North Carolina. And this thing was an imperial stout, and it was a heavy 13%.
That's
solid.
big. That's
pretty solid.
Pretty goddamn up there. Was it his stepsister?
No.
Okay. Well,
no. It's Chad with long hair. So
we can skip that conversation. Although those of you watching, if you'd like us to evaluate the possibility of something working out with your stepsister, please feel free to email your photos to Brett, and we'll make that assessment, help you make that assessment.
Yeah.
As a group, a team effort, if you will. Orca is a dolphin. I'm well aware of that, Chambers. Thank you. Now motherfuckers are giving us like, hey, let me give you some information about the sea. You might not. I want to make sure that you guys are accurate about how you discuss sea mammals.
Mammals, yeah.
But we appreciate it. We like to be accurate even when we're fucking around. I guess. All right, what was that? I missed some of the things you popped up there.
No, yeah. Brian said, "Jesus fucking Christ, they're whales."
I know they're not whales, dude. Jeez, I'm not an oceanologist or whatever they're called, but I can tell you what, I know it's not a whale.
Godcon goes, "I want accurate marine biology for my soccer podcast."
God damn, our people are fucking. They're on it. They're like, no, man, that's not accurate. Get your oceanology together, bitches.
Everything about our show screams accuracy. So while we're talking about transfer news, let's stick on the transfer news a bit.
Transfer news. Is this part of the show? Should I sing the song? Transfer news. Everybody likes that transfer news, except for me.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know if you've seen this yet.
Yeah.
Brenden Aaronson has a relegation release clause.
Yep. It doesn't surprise me, but I wonder, usually the release clause has a number attached to it. Mm-hmm. Like, for instance, Tyler Adams has $30 million attached to it. So he has a release clause only if a team's willing to pay $30 million for Tyler Adams. I don't know what Brendan's amount is, but I would venture to say there aren't going to be a lot of teams knocking on the door in the Premier League for him.
It was it was like 23 mil. I thought I had the dollar value that they signed him for, but I think it was like 23 or something like that when they signed Aaronson. So, and Leeds are going to want to recoup some of that.
Now,
a lot of that.
I would recommend for Aaronson's development as a player to go play in the championship for a year. Put on some muscle, go learn and fight. Don't just abandon ship on this, you know?
Yeah.
Go fight for this team. Show them you care. I mean, we know you can run all over the fucking place, but, you know, there's all kinds of shit that Aaronson needs to develop in his game. And again, last game, had a chance to score. Didn't take the ball first time with his left foot and just shoot and chip the fucking keeper. Choked. Got near the box, inside the box. Almost was going to score, but, oh, man, he only got the tip in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's got to slide that fucker into – he's got to score there. That's got to be a goal. I'm sorry. And he didn't even shoot. He tried to bring it back to his right foot or some weird-ass shit like that.
Maybe he needs to get the KY sponsorship.
Yeah. He needs something. Because
slide into that box.
He slid into the box okay, but he didn't slide it in all the way. You know what I mean?
Oh,
he needed to score, and you need to score, you need to get more than the tip it. All right. I mean, that's a matter of technicalities. I'm sure our audience will let us know that might count as score. I don't know.
I about lost my shit because I thought I closed out the window that had all the transfer news on there.
You should just stop closing windows, period. Just leave them all open. Hey, Frank, it was good talking to you on the Twitter sphere
about the Brooks.
today.
Austin.
Yeah, I was about, I was around this weekend and checked Twitter like 3 different times this weekend. So Frank, thank you for the $2. Totally disagree. Championship is too physical. I know it is. And I know he's going to have to fight through it. But Frank, he needs to grow a pair and he needs to start lifting weights and he needs to get tougher. And nothing's going to chest you and make you more tougher than the championship. I think he needs it. I think he needs that talent.
I personally, I prefer him not to go and I prefer him to get out of the EPL altogether. I think he'd be better suited somewhere else.
Germany,
but nobody's going to pay, especially after this year.
Nobody's
going to pay for it. So he's going down the ship. It's going to happen.
Yes, there is a magic number that Leeds want for Aaronson for what they paid for him. They are not going to release him for any less than what they paid for him. Number one, they'd be stupid to do it. And they're not taking $10 million for Brenden or $12 million for Brenden Aaronson at this point. And Brenden would ingratiate himself a little with the fans if he stayed and fought to get this team back up into the Premiership. And he might become a better player. Listen, there are other skinny guys that play in the Premier League. And there are other small guys that played in the Premier League, like Nanto, right? Did Nanto, as a small little dude, does he get pushed all over and knocked around? No, he doesn't.
Get playing time.
Well, that's another story altogether. But it's not one of his traits because he's well-balanced and he doesn't look for it. He isn't looking to fall over. So Aaronson, although slight and small and skinny, needs to put on some muscle and tough this out, I think. Now, if he gets lucky and Frankfurt shows up and says, hey, man, we want to team you up with your bro. Here's 25 million, Leeds. I don't think that's going to happen. Yeah, I just don't. So let's put the Aaronson brothers together on our team. I would love to have them both. Nato is stocky, but he's still practically
built like
hobbit.
A tank.
He's still a hobbit.
But he is a sturdy guy where a swift breeze will knock Reyna over.
I get it, but I bet you they weigh about the same.
What are those fucking cliffs in the UK somewhere where the wind is like incredibly like stupid fast? People like get blown off all the time.
I know what you're talking about.
I think maybe in Ireland now.
No, it's where they also tested the Normandy landings. Shit. I can't remember. Anyhow, yeah, it blows out there. All right.
Just to say the least, yeah.
Yes. So, okay. I mean, yes, I get it. I get it that Nanto is stocky.
Stunk.
He's a hobbit that's stocky. And Aaronson's taller and thinner. But, I mean, Aaronson could put on some weight, put on some muscle. He seriously could, and this could be fixed. U.S. men's national team. Look at Pulisic. This happened to him all the time in the old days. He's gotten better. It still happens to him, but it happens less, that he just gets knocked over and shit. Dover. Thank you. Thank you, Tom. U.S. men's national team, Cliffs of Dover.
Yep.
Yes. In fact, people don't know this, but during those practice Normandy landings, people got killed because they were shooting fucking live ammo at those motherfuckers to get them ready for the real thing. Oops. And they actually killed some people. So that's actually something to bring up for Memorial Day. We should all be thankful for all these motherfuckers who did what they did. Mm-hmm. Okay. I know we've all seen Saving Private Ryan. I've heard from many veterans that's the closest fucking footage they've ever seen to the real thing. And if that's the real thing, I'm just glad I wasn't born in the fucking 1920s because I would have been whimpering like a coward. I wouldn't have moved. You couldn't have got me off that boat. Yeah. I would have jumped off and started swimming the opposite direction. Seriously, I had pissed my pants and shit.
Imagine the amount of your outfit and everything would be down. I mean,
yeah. I mean, what I'm telling you is I would have thrown all that off, including my gun, and just jumped in the water and started swimming back to the boats.
How many miles is it back to England?
I don't care, but I'd rather take my best chance that way than fucking. Yeah, that's just insanity. I mean, really, we should, all of us who didn't have to do anything like that or serve in Vietnam or whatever, Korea, we should just be thankful because that shit sucks. All right. So thank you to those of you we lost. U.S. men's national team summer transfer outlook. Pulisic, McKennie, and more likely on the move. Well, of course McKennie's on the move.
So this is from The Athletic and Tom Bogert.
Don't Bogart my joint, my friend.
And then Paul Tenorio. They have listed out probably about a good, as you can see in my tabs up here, probably a good 10 to 12 different people.
Damn, you got so many. You got a lot of tabs, man.
This is actually my second window too.
You're like a tabulator.
We're gonna go back to it after we're done with the transfer news. We'll go back to the original window.
You're tabulicious today.
But yeah, well, let's just go through this. Basically, just took a snippet from each one of them, just talking about what's likely to happen or what they think is likely to happen. And we
is this any different than all the transfer news that we do usually?
It's a good rundown of the transfer news from the past 3 or 4 weeks.
So it's a summary of all the horseshit we've already read.
Pretty much.
Here we go.
We kind of already talked about this, but yeah, they signed. This is Brenden Aaronson. Triggers the release clause, but he signed for Leeds for $30 million. So again, there's the number. There's the magic number I was looking for.
That's heavy, dude.
Nobody's paying that. Nobody's paying anywhere close to that. Even if Leeds were to drop down and say, "Hey, we want some extra kickback," if he goes somewhere else after this. He's not going anywhere.
No.
As simple as that.
Nope. He's too expensive for Leeds. I mean, unless they just want to cut their losses and sell him take $15 million from him from somewhere. Although I don't know who's going to pay $15 million for him either. I don't. And I'm not just being mean to Aaronson. I'm just saying what he produced for Leeds was nowhere near the $30 million that they paid for him. Now, what he did was better than what Reuter did, or whatever the fuck you want to call him. But
I would talk more about this as well. And I do have there's a tweet from 12 minutes up when we start talking about Weston and Leeds that we'll bring up. But the sheer number of missed opportunities by players on Leeds. Who knows what stats Aaronson and company would have had if they would have put away half of them.
I mean, look at Koch missed 2 fucking sitter headers in the last game. Well, okay, one of them was a sitter. The other one, he could have put it on goal at least. I don't know. Anyhow, but he cocked one up so bad it's atrocious, and that could have changed the whole game. Yeah, could have changed the whole game. So,
all right, we got some Balogun here.
Wants to be a first choice striker wherever he plays next season. Well, just stay at Reims then, which is unlikely at Arsenal with Gabriel. Yeah, he's not going to be at Arsenal. He also reported Balogun doesn't want to go on loan again with a permanent transfer. The preference. Well, he can have a preference all he wants. His agent's going to have to work that shit out, and Arsenal are going to have to want to be a part of it. AC Milan, Inter Milan. I wouldn't go to either of those teams, honestly. To play center forward, I mean, those teams always have somebody else, some veteran that's started somewhere else big before. I don't know. I wouldn't go to that. RB Leipzig sounds like a decent one. Monaco would be okay. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, he's not going to replace Werner. Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, there's got to be some place for him to go. Marseille, I don't know. Is Jonathan David leaving? No, Jonathan David's with Lille. My bad. Yeah. Who's at Marseille? Yeah, I'm just trying to think of where Monaco, I think maybe. I don't know why he just doesn't go back to Reims, but except for the fact that Reims probably can't afford what Arsenal are going to want.
Well, unless they just do another loan.
Which is probably what is going to happen, honestly.
Yeah.
So.
Show you can do it again. We want you to do it again. Get another 20 goals.
Man, did they go out like a fizzle this weekend. Reims were bad. They were bad this weekend. Versatile midfielder, turning 22, has 2 goals, 4 assists. After leaving Bayern Munich, Utrecht will want to cash in on Booth, and where they set the price is critical. Really weird, though. Hasn't played much since he came back from injury. Started a game, didn't start this weekend again, was on the bench. What's going on there? I mean,
I don't know, but I think the magic number for Booth with Utrecht was 8 million or something like that. I think that's the number I think that's the number they initially threw out there.
Listen, that's just going to be up to one of the teams that want to sign him for like 12 mil or something like that, and they saw the footage and they love his ceiling. That's what that's going to take. I'm really surprised the Utrecht are ready to just part with him already. He's only been there a fucking season. Wouldn't they want him back next season? I'm just surprised. Utrecht will want to cash in. So that's an assumption by the author of this. So that's not true necessarily. Utrecht may not want to cash in on Booth because we don't know what kind of offers they're going to get.
Well, yeah, exactly, and that's a big thing. Again, if they have an initial launching point at 8 mil, and people are coming in at 4, let's just say, or 2 or 3, whatever. Utrecht is going to be like, nah, we'll keep him another season. Let's let him build up.
Yeah, I don't know.
No need for us to sell. We don't need to sell.
Again, it'll be down to whether or not some bigger club than Utrecht comes along and says, "We saw it, we like it, we want it, we're willing to pay." Let's negotiate.
It didn't say it in the snippet there, but he did have. There was interest with Napoli, and I'm not sure how true that is what. But again, I don't know if Napoli's going to pay the money that Utrecht's going to want. So
the only reason people brought that up is because the Napoli owner was like,
I want some American.
I want some Americans on my team. Oh yeah.
You went very Transylvanian there.
I know.
Blah, blah, blah.
I'm a little spaghetti eater. I want Booth. All right. By the way, that's a common German phrase that was used during, post-war. The Germans used to make fun of the Italians. Used to call them spaghetti essers, which means spaghetti eaters. Yeah.
Booth is apparently being monitored by Man Auto because of Ten Hag. He once managed in the same country.
I know Chris is bringing this up just to irritate me.
No.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, that's baloney. That's ring baloney.
He once managed in the same country. That was a great line.
Dest has been linked to a move to Union Berlin, which became more than a rumor recently, or a link. I love all this. He's been linked.
Well, then the article they're close to signing a deal. Well,
yeah,
we'll see.
Such that. Get more creative. Dest has been whiffed by Union Berlin. That would make. I like that. Union Berlin has hovered over West and taken in his scent. It sounds like this might actually happen. He could join Jordan Pefok, who, boy, man, nobody started out like a firecracker and end like a total fucking whimper than Jordan Pefok this season. This is the guy that showed up to the party, the orgy, was hard as a rock, and after like the first 15 minutes turned into like the smallest dude in the room, and it's just weird. He just deflated and just all his confidence is. Am I warming up
this portion of the bench? That portion right there? Okay, fine.
All right. The Athletic has reported that report isn't true. What isn't? Granted, anonymity speak freely told the Athletic the report isn't true. So they're saying this isn't true. Considering the stature of Dest's clubs so far, the hope will be that he is back in the Champions League next season. You can hope that all you fucking want, but that ain't happening.
For some Croatian championship and hope they move on.
Exactly. That's the only way that's happening. I'm going to go play for Estonia's top team. Yeah. He just needs to go play mid-table somewhere in a good league and find some fucking PT. Put in the work.
I I know Pete's really concerned about the potential move to Berlin, basically stating that Berlin doesn't really play the style that suits Dest.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, yes and no. If he actually went to Union Berlin, he certainly would be responsible for making sure he's playing defense. But then again, we've already talked about this. Why not some team sign him and play him as a right winger or a right midfielder?
Yeah. Just
and
remove the defensive pressure off of
the
him.
discussion's over about him playing defense. It's just done. It's over.
Yeah.
All right. That's it for Dest. The Nottingham Forest goalkeeper. This is, of course, we are talking about Horvath. Remember in the old days when we didn't have us on the screen and I had to make videos for all of them?
Yeah.
And every time I said Horvath, I had some chick taking a whore bath. Remember that? She had her ass over the fucking sprinkler and shit. She's wiggling that ass over the sprinkler. Every time I said Horvath, and there's some chick all of a sudden started dancing over
everybody that watched that too goes, why did that pop up?
Yeah, I don't know. They probably didn't get it, did they? All right, so I explained it at least. Yes, he was a significant part of their promotion to the Premier League. Horvath started 44 games for Luton this season with a rate of 0.84 goals against per 90 minutes. But let's be really fair. There were games that Horvath faced 0 shots on goal. Many games.
Not his problem.
Yeah. His post-shot expected goals rate was slightly under what was expected. Well, that's never good. But Horvath was mostly steady in net, and for the second straight season was involved in the promotion of a team from the Championship to the Premier League.
Was he really, that integral with Forest?
No, he wasn't.
He got like a couple of games in there because what's the guy's name that was there? Did something stupid and got like a 5-game ban.
Yeah, he didn't play any significant role. He was involved.
He was part of a team. He did a lot of warm-ups and practices.
To be fair, they only used the word involved. Yeah, I don't like that because that's like,
it's
okay, we'll just use the word involved and leave it really general. So, because we don't feel like explaining the fact that he really didn't contribute that much to the Nottingham Forest promotion. So we'll just say he was involved. He sucked a couple cocks. He warmed the balls. He warmed the bench mostly, and he did his role. He was involved. All right, Frank. Once again, thank you. No, Pete is worried about Dest possibly being third on the right wing back depth chart. He likes the system fit.
So I must have misread that. The one that brought to cover my butt on what I mean. I don't want to interpret somebody's tweet incorrectly.
Again, if I had this discussion with Pete, I would talk about the Union Berlin system and ask where else could he fit in besides right wing back. Could he play in the midfield? Is it possible he could play in the midfield? Could he play more of an attacking role in the midfield? I mean, he's a skilled guy. But if you're asking him to play a right wing back, I think that's okay. I don't think he would be third. I think he'd have to earn a spot, but I don't think he'd be third in the pecking order at Union Berlin.
Yeah.
Samba punched someone.
Which is why Horvath got a couple games with
in
their promotion.
Yeah. That's right. And then they went and got better goalkeepers. So, I mean, they have one of the best goalkeepers of all time playing there now. So, he's not going to play for Forest if Navas is there. Let's just put that ain't happening.
Yeah, but he's going to be – Navas is what, like 45?
Doesn't matter. He's still amazing.
Still
amazing. He's not 45.
Joke, guys.
Yeah, okay.
Just a joke, Derek. I didn't think I had to specify that.
No. I just, for our fans who are very fact-oriented.
He's like 95, right?
There you go.
But he's still good. No.
Yeah, he's still really good.
So Luton does have the option to make the loan permanent. Just whether or not they'll pay for it, moving up to the Prem.
Well,
they're gonna get that Prem bonus.
as we were talking about it before the show,
Yeah.
I said some of these fucking newly promoted teams, when they head into the Premier League, they think, well, you know what? Ethan was good, but now we're in the Premier League. We really need a goalie with Premier League experience. Let's go get one of those. So
At that point, I'd probably be more concerned about shoring up the defense and getting, some better field players.
it's just, it happens. Look what Forrest did.
Oh, sure. I'm not
Yeah.
saying it doesn't happen. I'm
Yeah.
saying as a newly promoted team, I mean, the idea of I better go pony up some big cash for a Premier League goalkeeper sounds like you're just hoping that you can eke by, rather than trying to form a team around it. I mean, I don't know. Or what about the?
Well,
I
I'll
might be
say
biased
this. Luton, if they don't go out and at least sign 6 or 7 new players, they are going to be fodder for an ass kicking next season.
Hey, Fulham didn't sign anyone.
That's different. They did sign. They did
Yeah.
sign. They just didn't sign a lot. But a lot of Fulham's players have been up and down in the Premier League before.
With
They
Fulham.
knew what they were. They knew what they were getting into, right?
Yeah.
These guys, they're just so championship quality. Yes, they're good championship quality. Obviously, they wouldn't have been promoted, but man, they need a lot of help. You can just watch that. I watched the game. I thought, wow, Luton are going to need some help because this Coventry City team sucks. To me, I watch that team and I see just a team that would die with that same team in the Premier League. They would get slaughtered. And I fear the same for Luton, honestly. Turner to Luton on loan. Well,
would Forrest loan out one of their goalkeepers to a competitor in the same league?
Yeah, they might. But I mean, those are things.
You know what Leeds did with like Dan James?
I mean, it's something to consider. Are you going to let? If you're Nottingham Forest and you think, well, we're going to be battling at the bottom of the table with Luton all season, they might say, let's definitely loan them Horvath because he is not championship. He is not Premier League quality. There's the other way of looking at it. Oh, sure. Definitely loan him back to Luton so we can kill him. I don't know. All right. So there's that. Musa, 20, has been linked with numerous Premier League clubs, including Chelsea, Arsenal, and Liverpool. Joke. That's a joke right now. I don't know if anybody's been watching Musa play this season, but it's been poor. And it's been non-effective. And it has been uninspiring. And so uninspiring.
Didn't you just describe all of Valencia at that point, though?
Yes, but Valencia, by the way, are well clear of any sort of relegation now. And they did it. Yes, and they did it without his services. He rode Pine for 90 this weekend, okay? And he did not play much last weekend either. He might have gotten like 10 minutes. He's not playing. They're doing it without him. They're getting comfortably above relegation without him. And if you watched him play, he's just not – he doesn't offer anything.
Is it possible? Is it possible though they've gotten the interest and they're going to accept a bid and they're just like, well, we'll just not play him?
It ain't going to be for many of those 3 teams.
Sure, I'm not saying that that's the case, but it's including Derek. It's including because I guarantee you, all 3 of them have eyes on Musa, keeping tabs on him.
Listen, Musa has a high ceiling. What Musa doesn't have quite yet is an understanding about how he can be a game changer for a team. How he can make a major difference. And he has no ability in the final third. He might as well not fucking be there. He gets 0 assists most of the time, 0 goals. He does not help teams score near the box. Again, I hate getting back to this whole theme, but we don't need any more players. Valencia doesn't need players like that. They need goals. And Musa ain't providing them. And that's why he's not playing. This is a part of Musa's game he's going to have to fix. He's going to have to get better. I mean, who's the player that everybody compared Musa to? Who's on the Columbus Crew, and then he was at Atlanta. And he went, Nagbe had the same problem. Great player. Ball stuck to his foot like glue. He could run. He could dart forward. He could charge the ball through the midfield. But once he got in the box, he was useless. He couldn't make that final pass. He couldn't shoot a ball from outside the box to save his testicles. So we got the same problem right now with Musa.
So I guess looking at Valencia, you said they were clear of the top. I think Frank may have said they aren't clear of relegation.
Oh, they're clear.
No,
they're
clear. While you were going on that rant,
not technically, but
they're. So I'm going to butcher this, but Valladolid.
Why don't you just put it up?
I could just put it up. How about that?
Put up the table and let's talk about it.
All right, one sec. Yeah, it's better than me butchering a bunch of Spanish names, right?
Yeah. They're technically safe. You're correct, Frank. But the chances that they're going to go down at this point are...
This is the only thing that's really concerning. Obviously,
Celta lost. Yeah, they lost. So, and by the way, that was yesterday. Luca De La Torre played the second half. And really didn't affect the game much. And they ended up losing. But they're more... if I would be Valladolid. Valladolid. Thank you. Listen, we know there's one spot left for someone to fuck up. But if I were to guess, I don't think it's going to be Valencia.
So, and here's the thing, though. I mean, Valladolid. They're playing Getafe. So, Valencia is playing Betis.
Yeah, that's scary in its own. But
I mean, all it takes. I mean, at that point, I guess you're hoping that at least one of the two teams below them also lose too. So I mean, you got a little wiggle room. You got some wiggle room.
There's a really good chance that Almeria and Celta Vigo lose too.
Sure,
because they are both shitting the bed. Yeah. Celta Vigo is shitting the bed week after weekend after weekend. So, I mean, I just don't see Valencia going down at this point.
Ooh, Celta's playing Barca.
Yeah, Barca is going to send them down. Honestly, they better start praying that Valladolid doesn't move an inch, because at one point, Celta were so clear. They look like, they just need to win a couple more games for the rest of the season, and they're fine.
They're down here. That's why I missed them.
And then they lost, tied, something like that. It's been horrible. So, I think Valencia are going to be fine. It's my point. I know mathematically they're not out, but I think they're going to be fine.
Yeah. I guess I wasn't necessarily even considering the two teams below them who they face when I brought that up.
I mean, what they have done is they were in the bottom three. They stopped starting Musa, and now they're out of the bottom three. And I'm not saying there's a correlation. I'm just saying they went with someone else when the shit hit the fan, is what I'm saying. All right. TSC and he's a young kid, right?
20.
He's still young.
20.
He's so young. He's got a lot to learn. He's got still so much to do to develop as a player. But he ain't going to Liverpool, Chelsea, or Arsenal. You can throw that. You can quote me, and if it happens, I will eat crow. And if he does go to any of those three teams, he's going to be loaned the fuck out right away. He ain't going to be playing for any of those teams. PSV and because Chelsea, you know what they do. They just buy everybody, and then they loan them out. So he could be on a
Stay away
shelf.
from Chelsea at this point. I've seen enough of them for a while.
Play with that jokester team. PSV and Feyenoord are among the clubs interested in Pepe, but nailing down a price point will be difficult. Augsburg paid a club record fee of around 18 million up front plus 2 million. He ain't going anywhere, folks.
Not for that price. That's going to be too hefty of a price.
He is. PSV and Feyenoord sell players for 20 million.
Yeah.
They don't buy them. Okay? This ain't happening. Augsburg want to keep Pepe. They have made it very clear in the German press they've made it very clear through his agent, who's even said that, oh, yeah, now the conversations are very positive. Mm-hmm. So I think stay at Augsburg. There's no reason to go. I know Augsburg aren't like a really great team, but hey, did they get
make them better?
Did they get relegated like Groningen? No. So go play in Germany for a season.
I wouldn't use Groningen as an example here. He just won the fucking playing time for the World Cup. I mean, that wouldn't be comparing those two teams. Groningen is always going to go down.
Do you think if Augsburg know that he's going to contribute, they're just not going to play him? No, they're going to play him. They'll play him. They'll give him plenty of chances. Yes, it is happening. What part of it is happening, Diego?
I think he means the transfer. He's got to be referring to the transfer.
Listen, that doesn't make any sense at all to me. But if you know something I don't, which is very possible, then I guess cheers to you. If I'm Augsburg, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it because I'm not going to get the money I paid back for Pepe from either Feyenoord or PSV. I just don't see it. There are other options, too, for those two teams. Now, if they are completely enamored, of course they're interested. They're going to inquire. They're going to sniff around. They're going to see if they can figure out a way to work out a deal where there's a sell-on clause. So Augsburg gets a sell-on clause, and then they make some money down the road and down the road and down the road from Pepe. But then Augsburg has got to be absolutely sure that Pepe's going to turn into something. So anyhow, Masturbator. Nice. Feyenoord said they were trying to work as quickly as possible to make the transfer. Again, it's going to come down to the money. If they can work out a deal so Augsburg gets big checks, fat checks going forward, then there's possibility this could work out. I don't deny it. But if I'm Augsburg, I'm looking at my offensive output last season and thinking, we're horrible. We need guys who can score goals. I want to hold on to this guy. I don't know. They're stupid if they do this. They're stupid because I think Pepe is going to be a future great Bundesliga player. It's a waste of effort and money as far as I'm concerned. I get what you're saying, but they're going to figure it out. Pepe has a broken relationship with them. The agent will force it. See, and then we heard in the press, and maybe the press is lying, that the agent has had better communications now with Augsburg. And then Augsburg has come out and said in the German press, hey, we've had better conversations. We're really interested in keeping him, Pepe. We know that the talk was he wants to leave, but we want him. We want him to stay. So I guess it's going to depend on who's stubborn, and it's going to depend on where the money is. The money is the bottom line decision in the end. And if Augsburg can get what they feel is fair compensation down the road for Pepe, then they might do it. But I still think they're idiots. I wouldn't just give Pepe away because I'm Augsburg. I'm going to be fighting relegation every season. And I need guys to score goals.
Even the point here, or the snippet claims that he's signed through the summer of 2026 with the an option for another year.
Yeah.
So they have all the time in the world as long as they can hope to remain up. So why would they sell for less or even equal to what they paid for at that point? I mean, I understand that there was that broken relationship, but I mean those things happen. You as a player got to continue playing on.
Yeah, especially if they're paying you the fat bucks they're going to pay you.
I mean, I feel for Pepe because, I mean, what was it, like the third game in and the coach pissed on his leg in the locker room?
Yeah.
I mean,
that was harsh.
Yeah, that's certainly alienate a lot of people.
Yeah. And there it ends with Augsburg has leverage. Yes, they certainly do. And if they are intent on keeping him, no matter how much the agent and Pepe want to leave, they can be stubborn as fuck and say, no, we want you. You're staying. We're going to play you. We believe in you. We need the goals to stay out of this relegation battle that could possibly happen next season. All right. Well, again, my opinion is if I'm Augsburg, I'm keeping Pepe because I value Pepe. I think he's going to be a future goal scorer in the Bundesliga. And if they value that, then they will stick with Pepe. What happened between the coach and Pepe? Yeah, there's this ritual at Augsburg that the coach welcomes new players by urinating on them in the shower. But that's a whole nother story.
Allegedly, yes.
All right, what else we got? Transfer news. Transfer news.
Been so long, I guess, since we started talking about transfer news, had to put like an in-between transfer news, like an intermission in there.
I know, this is a long one.
Mm-hmm.
That's what she said. Newcastle, who officially qualified for Champions League, could be a candidate for Pulisic with a right combination of Europeans. Italian giants AC Milan and Napoli could make sense, but finances will be a hurdle. True. There is a question, too, about what Pulisic is looking for. A Christian woman ready to marry would be the answer.
Ready to start popping out little Pulisics.
ready to have a non-sexual relationship prior to marriage, and then after marriage, having lots of sex. All right. Does he want to go to another Champions League team where he'll be in a fight for every minute? Does he drop down to the next tier of club where he'll be asked to be the man and develop in that way? I don't think he needs to drop that far down. I don't think he goes to Newcastle, he's going to be asked to be the man. He'll just ask to be an important player, or one of many important players for that team. So
there you go.
Dropping down a tier from Chelsea would be the championship. Good point. Yeah, just get the fuck out of Chelsea.
Well,
I'm not going to say pick any team, but you can. I'm sure his agent is at work trying to find him the best situation.
Well, and here's the thing. I mean, this is his last year of his contract, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, unlike Augsburg and Pepe, Chelsea doesn't hold the
cards
in this deck. No. Basically, Pulisic wants to go. They're going to field the options, and quite frankly, they're going to say, "Well, does selling him for $20 million make sense when we could just bench him for an entire season?" How about that?
Yep. Not to mention, Todd Bowley has basically said, "All right, you got my money, but I'm out of any decision making at this point."
Mm-hmm.
So you don't have an American owner going, "Hey, you got to hold on to the American anymore," right? So that's off the table. I think Chelsea are going to sell him, try to get some money. They're not going to get what they paid for him, but I don't think they expect to. They need to unload some players, and Pulisic wants to leave. He's made that very clear at this point.
I know. Diego for like the last half a year has been saying that Pulisic's leaving, and he's going to be signing with another Champions League team. So
that's for a half a year. He's been saying that.
Maybe not half a year.
Okay, because
I don't know if we've been in contact with him for half a year.
No, I was going to say, man, if he can see that far in the future, fucking A, man.
Let's start a couple months. I think he's been saying it.
Let's start making some bets via him. But then again, his bets have been pretty shaky lately.
Well, all right. Yeah. I don't. If Wes wasn't on the team, I don't think he'd be placing a 10K bet.
No, I don't think he would have either. Yeah, exactly. So, I mean. You know what? If Pulisic's willing to take a pay cut, he could go to Italy. Mm-hmm. Newcastle, I know, has been the one team that everybody's been talking about for so long.
Yeah.
At this point, I almost don't see it happening because it's too obvious. So I think that's a
Champions League team. Although, I mean, up until recently, I mean, you couldn't make that that statement. You know,
it happened this weekend. Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is, lots of teams make the Champions League from countries that you could be in the Champions League playing in Luxembourg. Now you'll have to start off playing in the knockout stages right away, but you made the Champions League at least. Actually, it's been 6 months. I said those words in my first original space in December. Okay.
Yes. I win.
And Pulisic's not even a Wasserman guy, so, I guess we'll take that as your opinion and not something you have sniffed about and know something direct about, unless you've heard it rumors from other players. Anyhow, we don't.
I guess. Wes could be like, yeah, dude, talking to Pulisic, he said he's off to beep, insert team here.
Well, there's a lot of stuff to still happen. We'll see what gets worked out because a lot of things have changed in 6 months as far as where teams stand. Just look at Chelsea 6 months ago and compare that to where they are now. They're a big pile of fucking elephant shit.
Well, hell, AC Milan went from almost not making Europa to being in the Champions League because of Juventus dropping points.
Exactly. So a lot of things can change. The last Athletic reported last week that West Ham is pursuing Reynolds. While Westerlo has already had an initial bid rejected. Part of West Ham's plan would be to loan Reynolds to Sparta Prague. Oh, God. Next season for consistent playing time. A source with knowledge of the discussions told The Athletic. So you're going to go from playing in Belgium, and then you're going to go head on over and play for Sparta Prague. I don't know. I just Czech Republic. Really? Is that where we're going? I don't know. I get it.
Why not just loan him back out to Westerlo at that point if you get him?
Yeah, I just listen. I understand that Sparta get to play and all they're a big champion. They get, but still, I wouldn't do that if I were Reynolds. And why would West Ham do that? I guess they think that he's got a high ceiling, so they're going to buy him, and then they're going to do the Chelsea thing and just loan him out until they think he's ready. I mean, lots of teams do that, I suppose, but I don't know. If just sign for another Belgian team, sign for Westerlo, stay there.
Why not look to loan him out in the championship? I'm sure there's some buyers and bidders.
Could be, yeah. I don't know why he's got to go all the way to Czech Republic.
Yeah,
I mean, it seems weird to me. It's like out of sight, out of mind. I don't even look at the Czech league at all. I don't go there. I don't watch.
Really have anybody play? Where's
I know you're going to say, yeah. I don't remember.
Okay,
but he's out there in that vicinity.
Oh, not you. Chris Carey said Reynolds to Real Madrid. Yeah.
Talk about exaggeration. Chris always knows how to hammer home exaggeration. Yeah, clubs in Belgium, Netherlands, England are interested with Reynolds' familiarity and form in Belgium and his ability to speak Walloon. Anyhow, he doesn't speak Walloon. Currently on loan at Westerlo and spent half a season at Kortrijk. Staying in Belgium or heading to the neighboring Netherlands seems likely. Yeah, that seems more reasonable.
Sure.
That seems more reasonable. But, we'll see where that goes. I don't think I'll go back, Stefan told Mr. Tannenwald of the Philadelphia Inquirer in March. No, I want to be playing. Although I had a great time in City, I love those guys and obviously an amazing club. I don't really have any plans to go back because they don't really have any plans for you to play.
Come back either.
Yeah. So, good season with Middlesbrough because they score a shitload of goals. But Stefan had some quite questionable moments this season.
Yeah.
The fans love him, even though he's made those blunders.
He's sort of become like a fan favorite to an extent. I mean, from what I've read from the videos I've seen, he tends to be one of the few players that really stay afterwards, after the games, and shoot the shit with people, sign autographs. Yeah, a lot of people were really wanting him back.
I mean, when you make some of the blunders he did this season, that's probably a good idea to hang back, because very few of those mistakes cost his team this season, because Middlesbrough scored a bundle of goals. So, do Brett and Derek care about the U20 World Cup? Yeah, I mean, I watched all the games so far. Does that count?
I haven't actually watched any of the games because they occur while I'm at work. And by the time I get home, I've heard multiple people's takes on it.
So the answer is Derek cares, but Brett could give a fuck.
I would love to give a fuck. It's just, I don't know. I have nothing. I like the U20 competition. It's just, again, I've seen it all. I've heard it all go be described to me. That's all I need at that point.
Be described to you by me?
You, Pete, Tack. I've read articles.
Oh, yeah.
Catch highlights.
Yeah.
So
That's fair. So we'll see what happens next game. You know what? It'll be interesting now that we're in the knockout rounds. I'd like to see them make a dent. I really would.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I think they'll get past this next game, obviously. I mean, you would think.
We're in the group with Brazil. I think we have a pretty clear shot all the way to when we play Brazil, which is like what, the semis at that point.
You want to bring up the?
I'll look for you. 1 second.
Yeah, let's bring up the bracket real quick.
U20.
That I think you're right, if I remember. Look at BMR getting us all into the U20s now.
Okay, I got to do it a different way, I guess. Hold on 1 second.
I have to say, K-Cal looks like a man amongst so many of these opponents and his own team. And if he actually put away all of his opportunities to score so far, he'd have at least 3 more goals. But he looks like an actual man, and I'm not just saying that because he has a mustache, because that mustache needs some filling out, right? It needs some filling out.
A fancy mustache.
So we should beat New Zealand. That should not be an issue. Uruguay could be interesting. But, and then, it really looks like nothing until we run into Brazil, honestly. So this is a good bracket. You should end up in the semis against Brazil.
And then in comparison, our bracket, if we're ever going to get to a final of the World Cup, this has got to be it, right?
Yeah.
I'm looking at the opposite bracket here.
Yeah,
Slovakia,
England, Italy,
Ecuador, South
Korea's got a good
Nigeria.
team. Yeah, those were all excellent teams.
How in the world did we get this bracket? Those are like polar opposite brackets.
Yeah, I know. Uzbekistan, Israel's not horrible. New Zealand, they'll be competitive, but I mean, listen, I just haven't been blown away yet by the U20 team, and I've watched all the games, and I'm not like, holy shiver me timbers, there's some real fucking all-stars who are definitely going to start for the U.S. men's national team in 3 years. No, I have not said that to myself a single time.
No,
I said there's some promising players here. That's about it. Nobody has stood out and said, not only am I promising, you can count on me to go play in the Premier League 2 years from now. I haven't seen that.
We know Everton's after Cal, so there you go.
Nope. I've seen Luna miss great opportunities, and I see him do some great shit. And again, Luna is what RSL thinks he is right now, an inconsistent player who does amazing things, then doesn't do what he's supposed to do, and then does another amazing thing. So the question becomes, where is some consistency here?
Well, last I looked with Luna, wasn't he playing with like their second team or something? Or was that early on? They've changed.
No.
He's been with the big boys. That's good to know.
No, he has been, I think, with the Monarchs. Sent back to the Monarchs.
I sent you that tweet of the guy who said that Luna is better than Gio. Remember that?
Yeah, that guy was high as a kite when he wrote that, though.
All I can think about when I read that is Owen Wilson doing his wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
But you got to keep in mind the guy that wrote that was like on some serious PCP at the time of typing that message.
Yeah.
There's no way in hell Diego Luna, they're not even the same type of player in any way anyhow. There's no way to compare the two, except for the fact that both of them can be quite artful. But yeah, the thing about Luna is he's erratic. Like there's these amazing moments, and then there's like, oh shit, he just missed a sitter. Or he tried something he shouldn't have tried because he had an open guy to pass to. So anyhow, we can talk about that. And it's probably the same criticism RSL has of him. And the same reluctance, maybe why they are not starting him, why he doesn't play for them. Oben has been great. I think Oben's been very consistent. I will say that much. He's consistent for Seattle. He's consistent for the U20 team, and that's important.
Mm-hmm.
You can depend on you can depend on him to do a job. That's what's great about Obeg. Alex Better, $2. Thank you, Alex.
Appreciate
Brendan
that.
Craig is special. He has an amazing pass. Are we
Yeah,
talking about his corner
his long
kicks?
balls. Well, that too, I'm sure. But his like 40-yard long balls to start the counterattack, man. He's lacing that shit.
Okay. Yeah, his long balls are great. They're fantastic.
Dragging on the ground.
Hey, my dick may be small, but I got some really long balls.
Dude, I don't know if I said this in the last show or whatever, but I was telling Jackson and Chuck that I'm like, hey, once we remove that, we've got a cover over their car seats and stuff. Like, once we remove that cover, you guys aren't having any more food in this car.
Yeah,
because there's no barrier to protect it at that point. He goes, well, what are we supposed to do when we're driving up to Michigan? I'm like, I don't know. Before we leave, grab a handful of nuts. And he goes, he just started laughing.
Your
He's like,
kid's
yeah,
already
these nuts.
picking
I'm like, oh my god, dude.
Oh my god,
these nuts. Come on,
where did he learn that from?
the YouTubes.
Yep, I know.
No, I've liked Brandon Craig since the qualifiers, the U20 the Olympic qualifiers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Great corner kicks, great set pieces.
Because we joked around, like maybe we need to bring him into the senior qualifiers because we
just
can't lace
to
the
take
corner
set
kick.
pieces. Yeah,
That's all we needed. Yeah. And we would have toppled Canada if we could actually take our set pieces.
Yeah. Jason Gonzalez Ortorega, thank you very much, my friend, for the $2. The U20s remind me of Soto. Who I wish worked. Grade 8. Yeah, not stuck in Klagenfurt, which is where he's stuck. I mean, he's playing. They're losing. He's not scoring. Yeah, you would think that the Sebastian Soto we knew at Hanover and with the youth teams would go to a place like Klagenfurt and just kick the living fucking dick out of the competition in Austria. But no. He's
that's why we talk about the U20s and stuff as really just a massive amount of potluck on who actually succeeds. And you could be looking at players who do incredibly well in the youth matches, and then all of a sudden, as seniors, just shit the bed.
Yeah, it's always difficult to see who's going to shit the bed because it's not like they walk around with soccer shorts with big fucking shitty stains on their underwear.
There it is right there.
Look, he's going to shit the bed. But, I don't know if any of the current players that we're talking about on this U20 team are going to shit the bed like that.
Oh, hope not.
I don't think that's shitting the bed.
We've had some massive Amber Heard. We've had some massive Amber Heard shit beds in our history.
Exactly. So you're talking about like Freddie Anu shitting the bed, Sebastian Soto shitting the bed, Conrad De La Fuente partially shitting the bed, and might have shit the bed completely for all we know at this point. Otis Sowie, total dump in his own drawers. So yes, it happens.
Modeling career available to him though.
Yeah, but I don't look at this U20 team and see. I see mostly, for the most part, at worst, some decent MLS players or bench players, and some of them seem like if they don't work out, they'll be good USL guys. And what I haven't seen is this guy's going to Europe and he's going to fucking pillage and take names.
I would have liked to have seen Paxton. I would have liked to have seen Gutierrez there. There were a couple players, but I mean they're with their senior squads playing. So
you watch Gutierrez all the time, and I think he's a really good player. But I don't look at Gutierrez and go, "This guy's going to Europe eventually, and he's going to pillage." He's gonna
I don't think
fucking
pillage by any means now.
yeah. I think he.
I think he could. I think he very well could go to Europe and do well. I don't know if he'll pillage.
In Belgium. I don't know. I'm just not seeing.
We'll
I'm
see.
not seeing the next Reyna. I'm not seeing the next Pulisic, or even Weston McKennie or
And
Adams.
there's no Buck.
He's
doing
doing good
well.
right now. He's doing good right now.
Mhm.
I mean, he had a great weekend. He scored. Could be something there. It's hard to say. It's too early. You know what I mean? It's just too early. I got to see a whole lot of Noel Buck fucking shit up and scoring some goals and dominating and kicking ass for the next 1 or 2 years, 3 years with the Revs. Then we'll know that he's ready for the move. Paredes is ready to play 3 minutes. What?
Probably get an assist in those 3 minutes, though. Here's another shit the bet I'm surprised he didn't remember to say.
No, Zetela. Yeah. I think that
Were you and I ever really sold on him?
no.
I don't think we ever really sold on him.
No.
So
I don't think so. There were a lot of good players on that team that were supposed to be great, and it didn't happen. So, yeah. Malik,
Zizou was on that team as well.
yeah, he was a serviceable MLS player, but none of them blew up and became the gigantic pair of inflated balls that we thought they were going to be, floating in the sky and hovering above their opponents.
And Derek got his second death threat ever on our show with Zavaleta.
Yep. He did threaten me via email, I believe.
Yeah.
And said
who you are.
I'm going to find out where you live. I'm going to come and kick your ass. Yes, he did say that. I was likable then.
I got to burn the money to fly out there just so I could kick your ass.
I was as lovable then as I am now. On loan at Rangers. Yeah. Okay, Malik Tillman. It's possible, but it's only possible that Rangers go out and pick him up if Bayern are like, yeah, he's never going to play here. We're probably not going to be able to sell him anywhere else. So yeah, we'll sell him to Rangers.
I think the big thing is whether or not
at a discount.
Whether or not Tillman will accept it.
I think Tillman doesn't have much choice.
He could decline it. I don't think it's one of those things.
I think he's going to go where the money is.
It's possible, I guess, but I'm hoping that he has higher expectations.
Like Augsburg, because that's probably where he's going to end up.
I think
something like that. Something like that is where he's going to end up, or one of the promoted teams coming up, and he might be. Yeah, so we'll see. But again, did Malik Tillman have a very good year with Rangers? Yes. Is it mind-blowing what he did? No. Is it blowing your dick off? No, it's not. It's just like that's a pretty good season because he would score, but then he'd have some bad games, especially against the bigger clubs like Celtic. That's where he didn't show up. He didn't show up.
Something you'd kind of expect from a player with their first actual professional season.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes.
Yep.
Ups and downs, ebbs and flows. It's not going to be perfect by any means.
His stock is up. It didn't go through the roof, but his stock has certainly went up this season from what he went out and did. Whereas at least he didn't shit the bed like Sands and get sent home, right? Sands' stock is down.
Yeah.
Okay. Tillman's stock is up, but his brother's stock is up too.
It's on the rise, isn't it? Yeah, absolutely.
It's the Tillman brothers' stocks are both up.
Mm-hmm.
Trusty's first season in England was a strong one. I'm just not willing to use the word strong. I would say it's a decent one, a good one, but strong? I don't know if it's strong. Birmingham was not good. They were in the bottom. They didn't get relegated. I get it, but they were not a good team. And I don't know. I just don't think that he was like amazing or anything. I think he was solid for a championship team. I know he got Player of the Year award, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, there's not much to pick from. if you go through the Birmingham roster, like who are you going to vote for?
Fair enough.
Trusty also played multiple positions. He played center back. I think he played right back, or was it left back? It might have been left back. So
I guess if it's the supporters player of the year, that's pretty telling. If the problem of the team, if it's the center back, that's your supporters player of the year.
It is pretty telling, isn't it?
Nothing lighting your pants on fire as far as when it comes to the offensive aspect of that team.
Yeah. This article gets it correct. It's very unlikely Trusty's going to ever break into Arsenal's first team.
Sure.
So he'll go back on loan again.
Well, as Godconk says, championship is Trusty's level.
I agree.
That's not a terrible thing to say, quite frankly.
No, championship is hard.
Yeah.
It's very difficult. So I think that's where he is. It's kind of like if you said, what level's Miazga? Well, I think his highest level is probably a good team in the championship.
Mm-hmm.
It's about where he's at. So, and now he's here in MLS, and he's a really good player.
Liga, right?
Yeah. No, and it's not definitely Liga.
Oddly enough, I thought at least for the first third of the season when he was starting, I thought he was actually performing admirably in La Liga.
Oh, and then
they got benched.
The new manager's like, actually, the problem and why we're losing is because of you, and you're gone. Go play with the kids in our 2 team. That was harsh. Yeah. All right. Okay, so that's Trusty. 23-year-old could leave Lille. Are we talking about Weah? Yeah. They started at left back this weekend. Again. Yeah.
Well, this could work out to what you were saying with Dest, right? With the US, maybe you start Weah at the wing back or the back, and you put Dest up top. Just flip their roles, right?
You know, the weird thing is all these players that are ever linked, they're American. It's always to Marseille or Monaco. Can it be like any other team besides the 3 ones that everybody always come out with? Why does Weah have to go to Marseille? Marseille is one of the consistently top of the table teams, just like Lille. Who's to say his experience is going to be any better at Marseille than it's been at Lille? There is no guarantee. So, you could go for a mid-table team and ensure yourself that you were starting every single fucking game at center forward, not left back. So, did you see Weah's interview? No, I didn't see it.
I didn't either, John. If you want to give us a quick 1-sentence breakdown, we'll bring it up, I guess.
Yeah.
But no, I have no idea what interview you're referring to.
Is this a recent interview?
Unless he's talking about where he doesn't like playing at the back. He's like, I'm serviceable there, but...
Yeah, because I've seen that one.
Yeah. What was it? Was it where he said he's enjoying his time back there? Is that what it was? I don't know.
It was something like that, but I think that he wanted to help the team, but this really isn't his position. Right? This isn't the position he really wants to play, but he'll do whatever the team.
Sneaky bastard.
Weah said he was a peanut butter and he loves Greg Berhalter. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What else we got? Man, this is taking a lot longer than I thought, Brett.
Yeah, no.
I know. We need to go on to another segment here soon. McKennie.
Okay, we're nearing here.
Oh, yeah. Depending, you know how long our segments go. This means we're going to be here for 4 hours.
I probably should have held McKennie off until we talked about Leeds and McKennie, but let's go ahead and talk about it here, and then we'll move on quickly, okay?
Okay.
We're going to be talking about it a lot longer later on.
McKennie will return to Juventus from his failed loan to Leeds. Failed. I guess in the sense that they got relegated. I guess that's failure.
And you didn't get purchased.
Yeah. I guess it's also a failure because, a lot of people have been very harsh.
Mm-hmm.
And I get if we're talking about the first handful of games he played as a holding midfielder. Those were poor. Those were piss poor. But since he's been given freedom, I think he looks a lot better. He looked a lot better to me even the last game, which the whole team sucked.
Yeah.
But I thought he was okay.
Nope. I agree completely.
But you got to also keep in mind that, and I know somebody else said, McKennie was like the most important player on Schalke when he was there. No, he wasn't. He was an important part of the team, but he wasn't the most important. There was no such thing on that Schalke team as the most important player when he was there last. That was a team. And he played an important role, but he wasn't the star of the fucking team. He wasn't the fucking Messi of that team. So, no, but here at Leeds, he is expected to be like the guy, the star. We're looking at the role that Big Sam gave him, and that role is to be the guy who can go anywhere, do anything, be involved, play on the left, play on the right, play in the middle, go wherever you want. McKennie, do whatever you want. That's your role. And unfortunately, it just didn't work out. But he's never been asked to be the star of any team.
So that's the thing. I think under Sam is when his performance is improved. Matt Spader does say McKennie's time at Leeds was a failure. He did not perform well. We came out every week when he performed poorly and said he performed poorly.
Oh yeah, we did. We hammered him.
And then I think when Big Sam came in and he gave West the ability to move forward and get into the attack, crash in and around that box, I think you started seeing him play a lot better because that's the type of role that he wants and he plays better at. He's not going to lead. He's not going to be the person that's going to lead the team. And the problem is, I guess, you have that dollar value behind you that Juventus wants. That's going to make people believe that he's being brought in to change the game. And he's not. He's a good serviceable player, and he's a team player. He puts in the efforts and does a lot of the dirty work. But he's never gonna break all the lines and win the game week in, week out. It's not gonna happen.
The amazing thing to me, while McKennie was there, were the number of non-chances that he had. Like, okay, there were some misheaders. He had a couple.
Rodrigo stole his goal, and I would have won money.
But to me, as many of the balls that were just bouncing around inside the box, and McKennie was sort of standing in that space where you thought that ball's going to ricochet and come straight to him. Mm-hmm. And it never did.
Yeah.
Game after game after game. And it not only did it not fall to McKennie, it fell to no Leeds players.
Yeah.
Like that ball would just be like bing, 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 all over inside the box. But no one from Leeds could ever get their foot on it. No one.
Well, and on top of that, I mentioned how like once Big Sam got there and gave him that freedom to run in and around that box, how many weeks went by since McKennie got there that we were all saying, why is McKennie sitting 10 yards on a corner kick? Why is he 10 yards out of the box?
That was with Mike.
Why is he not in the box?
Right.
So
Mike D was a complete failure as the replacement for Jesse. Just a failure. I don't know what the fuck he was doing.
Again,
at least I understood. Yeah. I at least understood what Sam was trying to do. Mm-hmm. I had no fucking clue what Mike D was doing. None.
Mike D.
Zero.
But yeah, I guess teams that are still reporting interest is Brighton, Bournemouth, and Aston Villa. We'll see what happens.
I don't see Brighton.
That's the one that's been heavily talked about recently.
I mean, listen, any of this is possible. All right. So it's possible, but I don't know. I don't see Brighton for whatever reason. They have a great system. They have a great chemistry where they are. Maybe he can fit into that. I don't know. But right now I'm having a hard time after what I just watched happen, sort of landing on a team for McKennie in the Premier League. Give me more time. I need more time to think about it.
All right, Josh Sargent with Norwich.
He's happy at Norwich. Isn't likely to leave, despite interest from Germany. Where in Germany, I'd like to know. Norwich spent around $11 million. Oh, God.
I can imagine that welcome home.
Yeah. He wouldn't be available for cheap, and Bundesliga clubs would struggle to match his salary. That's correct. Norwich was thought among the better championship teams following their relegation from the Premier League, but finished 13th. After they fired their coach, who had them, I believe, at the time in 6th, and then they ended with David Wagner at 13th.
Like the first quarter of the season, they were up there, and they're a decent squad. And then
whatever magic dust David Wagner had, taking his team up from the championship to the Premier League, is gone. Because wherever he has gone since has been piss poor or underperformed compared to the coach that was there before. Right? Mm-hmm. Schalke, horrible. I mean, granted, Schalke were horrible, so that would have been hard to fix. Mm. But like, this dude is either jinxed or his magic fairy dust is gone, David Wagner. Yeah. He's not inspiring teams the way he used to inspire teams. So, all right. Any potential transfer would have to be for big money. Reyna is regarded as one of the most talented U21, blah, 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 blah. Considering the drama that surrounded Reyna after the World Cup, however, this summer may not be the best time to try to maximize that value. Fuck, the teams don't give a fuck about that.
Yeah.
And Reyna's roll off the bench in the back half of the season doesn't set up well for that either. Well, just like every time he came in, he scored. Like almost every time he came off the bench, he scored. I mean,
yeah. Well, Shay, and as we'll go into a video here with Pete, it kind of required Reyna to come in and basically change the game and get 2 assists and almost had a goal. That would have been great if that would have been great if he scored that. Got the 2 assists, 1 goal, and then Dortmund won. Oh my goodness, that'd be crazy.
Yeah, Reyna's not going anywhere yet, guys.
No, absolutely not.
No,
and he shouldn't. Again, they're going to be going through some selling of players right now. This coach obviously has come out and said that Reyna makes it difficult on him not to play him, quite frankly, because of his when he comes off the bench and he scores goals and assists.
Yep.
He's like, I want to play him, but again, and this is what we've been saying is that Dortmund's been firing on all cylinders. Why would they change things up? Now, even this game with a very non-creative midfield and just screw the pooch.
Well, yeah, you're missing your best player. So
Royce came in.
No. Royce isn't the best player.
No. I know Bellingham. Yes.
Bellingham. Yes. Yeah.
But Royce came in. I mean, he would have been a good option to start, I would think. But I'm not sure why he didn't start. Maybe he was injured. I'm not sure.
Royce?
Yeah.
Well, they were horrible. I can't believe I watched that game.
Yeah.
But I did have Pete on the side there, and he went on a classic straight red card rant.
Yep, we're going to go over that in just a second here.
We might as well cover it now.
Yeah, it's right here. It's right here. Don't worry about that. I'm just going to cover this real quick. Reyna had the best. Reyna was up there, tied with the best minutes, whatever, goals and assists.
Goals per minute. Yeah.
So, a lot of people are talking about whether or not his role is best suited to be coming off the bench, or because with the games that he started, I guess he had no goals and no assists on any of the games he actually started this season. So that's what they're going to argue.
Well, that can be fixed. And
it's also subjective to who you play and how the team played as a whole. I don't recall many mind-blowing games that he started this season, but those are also relatively few and far between, were they not?
If you only start him a handful of times the whole season, how can that be? How can you use that as your basis of making that decision? So that's ridiculous. And then, I guess this is it, huh?
Here's some classic Pete reactions. I feel like we're rubbing a little too much off on him.
No, I really think this is who Pete is. That's why we connect with him. Yeah, but he just hasn't let it rip yet until now.
Yeah, there's 2 timestamps I want to pull up just because, fuck it, why not?
Yeah.
Oh my God, saved. What the fuck was that? What the fuck? Dortmund are doing everything in their power to bottle this. You got to be fucking kidding me.
Oh my God, that sounds like
professional chokers.
You got to be fucking kidding me.
Yeah. Like I said, I think we're rubbing a little bit too much off. It's coming out. I bet you that wasn't even coffee in his cup. I bet you it was liquor.
That's pretty early in the morning. He's
Yeah,
doing
it
that.
was.
6:30 in the morning.
6, yeah, I was gonna say 6 a.m. Yeah. All
That's
right. Well,
some balls.
here's the big one that went around Twitter that I had to pull it up this way for whatever reason. It was not pulling up on Twitter for me. But,
It's 3v3 again. Mines could score here. Cross comes in. Oh my god. That's 2-0. What the fuck? I've seen enough. I've seen the fucking enough. What the fuck is wrong with Dortmund? Fuck this shit. Bring on Gio and Bellingham now. What?
And he damn well knows that ain't happening at this point in the game. It's 23 minutes in. No one's getting subbed in at 23 minutes.
Dude, but the thing is that Bellingham and Reyna both were warming up at this point too.
And I don't even know why I don't know why Bellingham's warming up. He's too injured to go in at all.
Yeah. They
that
talked
was
about
weird.
it at halftime. They're like, I think they initially, after the second goal, they threw up Reyna to start warming up, but then they held back because they didn't want to, start a panic basically. And I'm like, then they said on at halftime. What's the point?
Well,
Might as well brought him in early. Give him an extra 20 minutes.
Panic should have started because they were playing like shit. But
What the fuck? What the fuck?
Good for you, Pete. Let it rip, brother. Let it rip. And I'm sorry I couldn't come on the show later in the day during the Luton game because, well, as I told you, I was heading off to cook for my parents.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of prep work involved there.
So do you want to go over the big board, or do you want to do Leeds and West?
Is Leeds and West going to lead us to the conversation concerning how the fans?
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Oh, okay.
Let's do Leeds and West.
Let's start off on a little fun interaction that Derek and I had with a particular Leeds fan.
Oh, a Leeds fan from Leeds.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So in a conversation with Diego, Chris right here says, Americans are like, I'd love to shoot up a school.
What?
And I said, it's a special type of fucked, am I right?
What a dick.
He called me a virgin. I mean,
that's his only comeback. He called me one later.
Yeah. It's not creative enough, Chris. You need to work on this because that is middle school bullshit right there. When you're a virgin, what was my response supposed to be? No, I've had sex with 200 chicks. You just don't know them. They live in Canada.
I just told him I had two children, and I said it could be the mailman, but I'm guessing not. But I also said and because then he wrote me back and said, I can't believe that you're a parent and you would come on here and use this
shut the fuck up.
Yeah, use this. It's like, what? I'm not allowed to say what you say because I'm a parent? And it said, by the way, both of my kids are out of the house, you fuckface. They're both graduated. They both have jobs. So I guess I was a successful parent. Something you'll never really understand, I said, because you're too much of a fucking moron to probably raise children. And yeah, that was pretty much it. He's scared. He got scared of me. He ran away. He's like, okay, yeah, well, fuck off and, good night. That's it. Good night.
It should have been my response, but I do say something back to him in the end here. But
I came to your rescue. Is what I did, right?
Yeah, sure.
Not that you needed it, but somebody needs to take this fucker down a notch, and that was my job.
And he says, "Brett, is this true?" Yeah. No, fortunately, not unfortunately, but fortunately, my kids do look a lot like me. So
you don't need to say that. I've already said it.
And Chris follows up with, "It is, mate. His mom told me."
God, what a twat! What a total muppet!
Oh man,
this guy's a total muppet.
Seriously, this is middle school bullshit. Come on, you got to be more creative than this, Diego. If this is what you've been dealing with for the last couple months, it's softball. It's softball shit. Come on.
Yeah, it's just.
I just responded with saying, man, projection's the son of a bitch, Chris.
Yeah, this guy's an unoriginal bastard. That's what he is.
Did I respond to Chris in this? I got to follow up with the wife on if that's the case.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
He tried to use it on me later. It's okay. Yeah. I destroyed him. I actually wrecked this guy's ass so hard he won't be able to shit normal for weeks. And he clowned out of there so fast. He's like, oh shit, I'm overmatched. Because I'm like, hey, so we're gonna like play this game where because there have been school shootings, all Americans are school shooters. That's what you want. How about that Sunday, Bloody Sunday thing? You want to talk about that? Where your people shot up and murdered, a big group of fucking teenagers. Let's talk about that. He didn't want to talk about that. He didn't want to talk about that at all. Yeah. Sunday, Bloody Sunday. Yeah, he didn't like that at all, dude. He did not like me bringing that up at all. So it's like, okay, there are some bad things that happen in your country. There's lots of bad things that your people have done. There's lots of bad things that our people have done. That doesn't make all of us bad people, moron. I just called him an unoriginal fuck. That's basically was my summary for him. McKennie already on train back to Juve just shows he has no passion for the club. What's he supposed to stick around and suck your cock? What the fuck is he supposed to do? Was he supposed to give you a fucking reach around before he left?
Yeah.
No, he's going back to his fucking apartment where his dog is. And somebody's been taking care of his dog for the 4 months he's been there.
Well, Derek, he's supposed to spend another week in a city where he got ushered off the field to a chant from the fans saying, "You fat bastard."
He's not even fat. And for about 50% of that crowd, they're a bunch of fucking hypocrites. Have you seen the crowd? Half of them are fat. And I'm not talking about just like fat, like chubby. I'm talking fat. Okay. So listen, Leeds, I'm a Leeds fan, and it's really hard for me to put up with this shit. Mm-hmm. So that's what Just Joe said today. What he is supposed to stay for a fortnight. No, he could do whatever the fuck he wants. The season is over. He doesn't need to go over to fucking.
Yeah. Oh. No, Joe's saying that. He was like, what was he supposed to do?
Yeah. He's supposed to give everybody a goddamn pat on the back before he fucking leaves Leeds United? That's a joke, right? This guy's a fucking moron. All right. Yeah. What else we got?
I mean, So he wasn't feeling you love.
You're not even going to play some of my comebacks to this moron that offended you?
Oh, do you want me to fight Chris's comments?
It's all right. Yeah. I just destroyed him. I just wanted to publicly display some of my destructive abilities on Twitter.
I do
a new guy on Twitter.
Yeah. I do want to point out that I know Diego has his run-ins with some of Leeds' best, and we're not really dabbling into that, quite frankly. We did have that one with Chris, and there are definitely instances where Diego has some receipts of racist comments being made. There's obviously the constant. Only thing that they can say is, "Well, he's fat." I'm like, okay, cool, that's fine. I will say though, this is a small portion of the fan base, and this is what you're going to find with most people. Fans, quite strangely, there are some really good Lead fans out there.
Yes,
and here's one of them.
McKennie after game, willing to have a photo with the kids. He was the only one they not met so far, unfortunately. As I was taking this pic, he was hurled with a barrage of abuse. While I might agree he's not been great for us, I cannot stand there and justify the abuse he got. Agreed. It's ridiculous. Mm-hmm. It's so again, it is the over emotional. Listen, I understand you got relegated. You're pissed off. All right. I was upset that Leeds got relegated. Okay. But I kind of got over it because I already knew it was going to happen. Right. But I'm not there to piss on a guy who I think for at least the last 4 games played pretty well for Leeds. Mm-hmm. Maybe not the beginning, being played out of position, but since then, I think 3 or 4 games he's been okay. He's been shown a lot of creativity. He's fucking ran his ass off. I've never seen McKennie run as much as he has in the last few games.
And each the last handful of games, at least, he's been a full 90 player, which is not a big consistency with us.
I have never seen the Brenden Aaronson side of McKennie before, ever. Never seen it to that extent. And he put in a lot of effort. It didn't work out. There's no reason for you guys to be a bunch of fucking Muppets and go after him. All right? But there's plenty of good Leeds fans who are just like Connor, who are like, hey, didn't work out. I mean, I guess he didn't need to say, like, you never were a Leeds player, goodbye. I mean, I think that's kind of uncool.
All right, okay, let's go and bring that up, I guess. So Diego does bring up, he goes, the math doesn't add up. So this was originally the back and forth that he had with Connor.
Yeah,
about
I saw
getting
that.
Wes on there. Hey, I've got this big channel. It'd be great if Wes came on.
No. I mean, Diego told us about this.
Yeah.
Connor wanted Wes to come on the show. Yes.
Yeah.
And then, now Connor's like bagging on McKennie, saying he was never a Leeds United player. Goodbye, clap. Connor, that's just not necessary, dude.
It wasn't clap, it's a wave.
Whatever. Wave, clap, hand job, whatever it is. There's just no point. And he was a Leeds United player. Sorry, dude. Technically, that's what he was. And if you think that he didn't care at all and gave no effort, then Connor, I don't know what game you watched. And I guess it got so bad that Connor shut down all social media, shut down Twitter. So
hold on. I think we've got an audio snippet of that space.
Thank you, Chris. Yes. I destroyed that fucker, dude. He ran away like a little boy. He ran away like a scared little boy. And I even ended it by saying, hey, motherfucker, I know more about the fucking history of your country than you do, bitch. And that's true. I do. I guarantee it. I guarantee I know more about the history of England or Great Britain, if you want to get broader, than he does. All right? That guy's a fucking clown. And yeah, I didn't really go on there to go to Brett's defense because honestly, when I got there, and I didn't even know the comment I was replying to was a comment to Brett. I didn't even know. I had no clue. I just attacked him because I thought he was an idiot. That's all.
Yeah. It's always fun to pull one out every now and then.
I'll fuck a motherfucker up.
I mean, I don't tend to.
I'm just kidding.
I'm
usually really nice. I'm really nice.
I don't take social media serious. So when people start hurling out the insults, it's just fun to throw some back. And I really didn't throw myself back, but
I just had fun with it. Personal. I mean, mostly. I mean, it's not like I threatened him or anything like that. But he did say, "Oh God," he said. Well, with you as parents, then your kids probably want to go out and shoot themselves in the head or something like that. Dude, that's over the line, man.
Yeah.
I didn't come at him with anything like that, Nothing that personal. That's nasty. Like, I didn't care. I just what a fucking chucklehead. But you don't say shit like that to people. Like your kids go shoot themselves in the head. I mean, what kind of fucking clown does that? I tell you what, a clown that doesn't have any children. That's who says that. Because obviously he doesn't understand what that means. And he'll never have children and he'll never send them to college. And they'll never amount to a hill of beans if he has any children because he's a fucking idiot.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Wright, Leeds fan, fucking fanny pack wearing goddamn fucking chucklehead clown. Fucking clown.
I know there may be some people in the audience.
Bastard.
There may be some people in the audience that actually wear the well, I don't know if they have a different name nowadays, but the fanny packs around their shoulders and stuff like that. They weren't cool in the 90s, guys. I'm sorry. And I know we're old people talking here about fashion. Sure. We're probably not the best to go off of, but
a lot of parents wear the fanny packs for obvious reasons, right? If you wear a fanny pack, you do you. Okay. But the thing is, he wears that and he's an idiot, right? You can wear it and not be an idiot. He's just bringing up a notch. And I think, I've never met a guy online who was so obviously a douchebag juice drinker. Like, this guy drinks douche juice for a living. Like, he must be the biggest douche ever. And if you look at pictures of him and his friends, it's like it stinks of a douchery, a complete douchery. That's what it smells like. Fanny in England means something quite different. Yes, it does. Correct, Dan W.
Oh, no.
All right. What else we got?
Here's just a 43-second snippet of the spaces we were talking about with Diego and Connor. Here's Connor down here. Diego, obviously.
Weeks ago, begging for him to be on your YouTube channel.
What did I say? What did I say?
What do you mean? Why don't you go fucking read, dog? You have fucking eyes.
Stop swearing.
Goofy ass eyes. You have eyes. Oh, don't swear. Shut the fuck up, Connor. You and your little small ass. Connor, I have more influence on your fan base than you. I have more influence on your fan base than you, bro. And you've been around for 30 fucking years. What the fuck does that say about you? You goofy ass motherfucker.
I don't know.
Yeah, shut the fuck up, pussy. Nah, shut the fuck up, bro. Let me fucking talk. You're nobody, cuz. You're nobody. You're nobody. Twerking in my DMs for Weston on your channel, and now you fucking slagging him off, bro.
Hold on. What was?
Is that the same Connor?
Yeah.
Oh man, it didn't sound like him for a second.
Well, even Diego's voice sounds a little bit different than when he's on our show.
That's true.
So I think there's a difference. I imagine most everybody who's doing spaces is probably doing it off their phone, which is always going to have a different sound.
Yeah, they both didn't sound normal to me.
Yeah.
But man, it's sad to see that. Because I love Diego. And then, I don't really know Connor that well. And he wouldn't know me from a hole in the wall. It's just a couple conversations.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, Connor means well. I just didn't like that thing about Weston. I think the fans have already shit on Weston enough. I don't think saying he's never been a Leeds player, which is intimating that he never cared, I think is bullshit. I think it was pretty obvious to me McKennie cared in those games. Like, for his own self-pride, he played his ass off. He ran his ass off in those last handful of games. But it doesn't matter. It's not a one-person team. That team sucked. The defense on that team is fucking so atrocious. And I will say this. I think Weston would have played better off of Bamford than you can off of Rodrigo. Rodrigo's not a holding center forward. He's not going to hold the ball, and you're not going to get
nobody plays better off of Bamford. What are you talking about?
Well, Bamford's not.
That's perfect.
Bamford can. That's the one positive Bamford has. He can hold the ball and distribute it. He can. He can take a ball in the air off his chest down to his feet and pass it to somebody. Can he finish?
Fair enough. Yeah.
No, he can't finish. He can't finish.
Oh, we know about that.
He's the guy that jerks off all night and goes to bed with a Woody.
Even Teicher's jumping in on this. Interesting numbers, aren't they, Leeds fans? Imagine just telling the whole story, how much more informed the public would be. Am I right?
Yeah. Yes. Good for Jack Harrison scoring, but yeah. And let's not forget, missing Sinistera and Adams, that's devastating for Leeds. Absolutely devastating. So
I don't understand. How can you not like this guy? This guy he's just tons of fun. And again, this has quite frankly, all the criticism and all the insults and stuff that has nothing to do with Wes. It does have something to do with Wes, I guess, but it is because they're trying to get back at Diego for some slight they feel, quite frankly. And listen to this guy. This guy's just a ball of fun.
Leeds United versus Leeds United. And Leeds United keep it on top.
I mean,
you know who doesn't give a fuck? Luca De La Torre. Did you see him in the video?
Yeah.
He was like,
yeah,
he's like, I don't give a fuck. You're dancing, whatever. I'm not even cracking a smile for that shit. I'm here about biz.
He did this right here.
He's like, whatever. All right, we're running out of time here on this show.
Never run out of time, Derek. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I am running out of time.
All right, do you want to do the big board now, or do you want to do that on Thursday?
guess save it for Thursday because that's going to take us at least 45 minutes to an hour.
Okay.
At least. I told you there were too many topics for tonight. That we better hop straight into that shit. And then, what happened. Mm-hmm. Because what I would like to do is consider the whole player pool. And I'm going to talk about every player, how they played this past season in Europe, and talk about whether or not their stock went up or down. And we'll talk about Jeff Carlisle's article where he goes through the player pool and rates the players on a 4-layered setup, right? So you got 4 layers. Players fit into one of the 4 layers. So Frank actually alerted me to the article. Thank you, Frank. We are likely to have the roster by Thursday. And if that is true, then we can go over the roster and we can talk about it in depth. But tonight, we just failed to get to it. We absolutely failed. But we got to lots of other shit and shit that needed to be talked about, I think, because we didn't even have our usual 15 minutes of gaiety. You know,
Derek, you couldn't have put it any better than that.
Alex Better, $2. Sip champagne. Glad our boys have release clauses. Yeah, I mean, it's good that they do. But when you look at Adam's $3 million release clause, that's expensive. So I think he's staying. And we're looking at Brenden Aaronson. We don't even know the exact number of his, but he's got one too. So somebody's going to have to come in and pay up for these. Leaks will come out tomorrow. Roster is out Wednesday, I believe. Thank you, Diego. We love you, brother. Hope all is well. I'm glad you didn't have to run into that Chris Wright motherfucker on the West Stand, man. And if you did, I wish I were there with you. And a bunch of motherfuckers were like, I hope he chins that motherfucker. You know?
Well, that's the thing. Diego's like, yeah, I'm here at the airport. I'll be at this point. You know?
Yeah. I mean, you never know if Diego's got some of his boys in tow as well, though. Right? Mm-hmm. Some big motherfuckers who'd just be like, snap a little Chris Wright neck. Sorry, buddy.
Allegedly in Minecraft, right? We don't have.
Well, I'm not saying kill them, but give them a vertebrae, a challenging effect to their vertebrae, challenging maneuver to the vertebrae area. Yeah, like a Spock thing. Oh. All right, guys. Thank you for coming out tonight and showing up on Memorial Day. It's been a great weekend. I hope it was a great weekend for you. And again, Brett and I are serious about this. If you want us to evaluate your stepsister and figure out whether or not she's the girl for you, don't hesitate to email Brett at.
I was waiting to see what email you might throw up there.
You know what? Better yet, just send them a private message on Twitter. We'll evaluate the photos and let you know.
I don't know. I don't want to go into this now. Can't wait for all the random messages I'm going to be getting here.
Well, whatever photos you send Brett, please send them to me too. All right. Please do. I've been wondering about my stepsister. We are happy to make that evaluation. We'll go through the whole discussion and to talk to you about the pros and cons and then give you some advice on how to hit that up. All right. Until the next time on the Straight Red Card, keep it safe and eat some of those cream-filled tubes.
But she's a trap. She's an unsung novel. Turn a lap and get your whole world dazzled on the line, or a phone call with or without wine.
You're gonna do her.